Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue. How's everybody doing? Good morning to everybody on this April 25th of the year 2024. It is with great pleasure to announce to you guys that on May 9th, the Epoch Times it is going to release a documentary on the Darian Gap and everything that has completely caused this mass migration from South America into Central America and North America. I was invited by Michael Young. I was going to go down there inevitably to go through my fourth time with Real America's Boys News, our network, and Ben Berquan, my brother. But I arrived earlier, uh, and ultimately I arrived earlier because I had a speech. I got invited by the best authority and the best institution in the world that I consider, that is Centerfront, the authorities of Panama. I was invited to speak in front of more than 500 officials. As I was preparing for that, I bumped into Michael Young and Miss Ann Vandersteel. That they have an operation that is called Operation Burn and Age. I met them in the Holiday Inn in Panama, in Clayton, Panama. We saw each other, we talked to each other, and it was a large group of people right there. And ultimately, I met Josh Phillips from the Epoch Times. It was unbelievable. At first, first when we met, we made a great connection. We understood our purposes on every section and on every instinct of this mass migration. And he was really interested on listening to my stories, as I have, gone through the Darien three times with my brother Ben Berquam. I have walked more than 11 caravans and documented and almost got us, killed in Central America and Guatemala. He was really interested. He was really interested to listen to my story. And, Michael Young started telling me, follow them, you know, try to, give them the information that they need so they can put the institution on a pedestal first and foremost. Respect Panama of what they have gone through, and ultimately not only that, but also explain to them what is the current situation with this mass migration and this disaster that is in a humanitarian disaster in the Darien Gap, which is not around. So a great team from the Epoch Times arrived into Panama, led by the great Josh Phillips, which I sent him a big hug. Josh, thank you so much for the opportunity and the pleasure to meet you. It's all about the hair, brother. So first and foremost, great guy, extremely intelligent, and he's really accurate with this information. One of the best documentaries that he did, that he got millions and millions of views and millions of attention, uh, was a documentary about COVID. Now he's making this documentary, which it looks extremely, incredible. This is a small clip. Ultimately, you can go to the Epic Times page and you can see a 10-minute video of what the documentary is going to be. I don't know if it is going to be in an hour or more than an hour. There's another teaser that is going to come out of this documentary, which is going to be shown. This is the first teaser that ultimately it's already premiering and all their Epic Times pages. This clip I picked it from X. You can go to X and see. Ultimately, you can go to their website and to their Epic Times documentary movie premieres, and you need, the only thing that you need to do is register with your email, and then you can see the 10-minute clip, which is absolutely amazing. Kudos to the Polio, that he is the video editor, Cameron guy. And there was another guy from Brazil, which I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry, brother, but you're incredible. Also, you are the incredible mind. Also, kudos to Melina, the producer from the Epic Times. Incredible work that she does. And ultimately, Josh Phillips, which I got the opportunity to be just talking to them and explaining to them what it is, the current situation in the Darien. We have gathered so much information and experience through the whole continent of this humanitarian disaster, which is caused by leftist policies, Ultimately, the United Nations is complicit of this humanitarian disaster. And right now, the 4 years of this current administration of Joe Biden, which have cost multiple lives, it is the administration where more migrants have died between the limitations of Mexico and the United States. It is the administration who has increased the cartel to have more power because of the enormous trafficking that is occurring, and ultimately the power that they are getting monetarily and financially through this, trafficking that is consistently the trafficking of children, women, missing people, missing migrants, the profit of the organized crime which they are making in Central and South America. It is just flabbergasting, and ultimately, this is not a safe pathway. It is the pathway of hell, Darian. It is not a route. Everybody should understand that, and everybody should get it. So this is a clip from this is a teaser that it was put up in their pages. I wanted to just post it. I think it is a minute and 4 seconds. I will play it a couple of times for you to see it. Go to the Epoch Times, watch all the pages, the clip. It is right there. You can actually see it. Ultimately, you can actually see the video editing. It is just an incredible video. It starts, and the most amazing thing is I did not know this, but it's just the way that there are, developing the whole video that starts in San Diego, starts in the borders of Mexico and the United States, and then it clearly goes to the epicenter of where this has started, and we have been there. There's only been one American network which has done this, and I say this proudly, as Real America's Voice News has been the only American network which has walked the Darien 4 times. And I don't talk about myself, never. I don't like that. I'm really humble to do that, but I am the only Latino who has walked the Darien 4 times, and the first Mexican who has ever crossed the Darien 4 times. It is not a pretty place to be. It is not a safe pathway. It is a horrible pathway, which migrants are being used, abused, and the only ones that they're fighting this off is the Panamanian authorities, which they are putting their life at risk to safeguard migrants in through their journeys, ultimately being pushed by the cartel and the organized crime in Colombia, which they're making millions and millions of dollars out of profit with the enormous trafficking of Chinese, Afghanis, and all the people that they are using on these tourist packages, which we discovered that we shown you, multiple times of what they're selling, their bracelets, security, all the way to the Panamanian limitation of the border. So this is part of the clips. This is in Panama. This is in Darien. This is the migrant camps. This is the great Josh Phillips doing his best, explaining. This is where he shines. And really, he is an incredible guy, and he did a phenomenal work. So let me put the clip so you guys can see it. This is a minute and 4 seconds. Let me just go right here and move the clip right here. Here we go.
Unattended luggage.
Behind me is the San Diego border wall, what was once regarded as the best example of secure bordering in the United States. Now, this border wall section, it's now facing the same type of border crisis right here as the rest of the country.
We have open gaps here in San Diego, but they're just coming in.
According to statistics from Customs and Border Protection, around 7.2 million illegal immigrants entered the United States under President Joe Biden alone. What is actually causing this crisis?
So that's actually 1 minute and 4 second clip video from the Epoch Times. There's going to be another clip, which I already been notified that there's going to be another clip that another teaser to be released. You can see me right there actually at this clip. And in the 10-minute video, which I just saw, if you go to the pages and if you Googled Epic Times video or Epic Times documentary, you can go and see the 10-minute clip. You're actually going to see Michael Young explaining the whole situation of several different bridges that are being made in the Tribe area. And also you're going to see Matthew Tomlin, our brother and Panamanian, raised an American citizen in Panama. You're going to see him explaining how this has affected the tribes in the jungle. And ultimately, you're going to see me talking a lot of explaining what the current situation with the NGOs, with the mass migration, with every epicenter of disaster inside of the Darien, which we have experienced ourselves. So this is I hope that is in and I know that is going to be an incredible documentary. It's the Epic Times. They do incredible work. Really young people, all of them, they're really young people. Again, it's not only Mr. Josh Phillips who did this incredible, the correspondence and the presentation of the documentary and being a journalist himself and leading the operation, but also there were three people behind the whole Epic Times, documentary, which I believe that they need to be also mentioned. One of them was this great camera guy. He looks like a Viking, man. He's tall. His name is Polio. Incredible guy, camera guy. There's another guy from Brazil, which I thought that he was an incredible guy also. Really nice people. And also Melina, which he is the producer of this documentary. She did an incredible work also. Really a hardworking lady. And, you have Josh Phillips. I'm really happy to collaborate with the Epic Times. Apparently, we're going to be doing it more consistently now. And we're going to be participating more with this this network, consistently be more collaborating with the Epic Times. So this is one of the teasers. If you guys like to, let me just see, where is it? I think it's on this one. Where's the phone? Where's the other phone? Where's the other? Oh, right here on the bottom. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can resend. I don't want to show the 10-minute clip because it will be, for all of you guys, basically not searching, but you can actually go to the website. So the website, you can actually search it as weapons of mass migration. An Epic original documentary sets out to investigate what is really taking place behind the border crisis, where it's beginning. So you can actually go to www.massmigrationfilm.com. That's where you can go and search for the 10-minute clip, 10-minute clip video. You can actually going to see me right there on that 10-minute clip video a lot. And I just want to, say thank you to Josh, brother. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. You're a great guy. So again, I will repeat where you can go. It is www.massmigrationfilm.com. You can go right there and ultimately find the 10-minute clip of the other 10 minutes of what the documentary is going to be about. It's interesting. It's important that everybody sees what's from the perspective of a documentary. Extremely well done. And I will like to announce right here also that our book is going to come out, nearly possibly in a month. That is called From Tijuana to the Darien, explaining the catastrophes and the inhumanitarian, situations which migrants are going through in Central and South America, being used for a political agenda under the humanitarian wing by the United Nations. Ultimately, also, we are going to be doing some presentations of the book, which I believe that is going to be extremely interesting for second opportunities in life. That is the way that is going to be called, second opportunities in life, the presentation of the book. And also, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. And also, we are going to be releasing our own documentary that is going to be called 4 Times in the Darien. 4 times in the Darien. It is going to be a compilation of all the videos and basically me explaining every time that I have gone into the Darien with Ben Berquam and my brother Ben Berquam, the 4 times that we have gone in there, ultimately into the Darian Gap. So, thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there, the link. If you guys like to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, we're going to be traveling soon. We're independently funded. Ultimately, we work with different networks. One of them, it's Real America's Voice News, but it's we're independently funded. So thank you so much for all your contributions for me to continue to do my work, exposing the crimes against humanity, against migrants, that they are being used for a political agenda. We as Latinos, we're sick and tired of being used into a political agenda, and we wish that our countries will be first class world countries, so our people will not migrate and go through these difficult journeys and all these atrocities that I have seen. On the Darien, a lot of people have asked me which are the stories that they have impact you the most, Oscar. And I've continuously, every trip that we have taken, every trip has a story. But I can tell you that there has been 2 stories which they never leave my mind, and they have always, and they will always stay on my 3 stories that they will always stay on my mind. On our second trip, we encountered some bandits that they were stealing and robbing and taking advantage of migrants. And the heroic angels of the jungle, center front officials, took care of them. Arrested 2, neutralized one of them. But on our way to these bandits and the way on this, gunfight, that we were, ducking ourselves and on the floor, and bullets were flying on top of us. Before we went to that, we encountered a group of migrants, around 15. And I asked in Spanish, I was asking consistently if women were being abused. And this particular group said yes, there was one. And it was a young lady around 19 years of age that she always stays on my mind. She's always on my mind. I cannot forget, and I will never forget that face when she approached me, and she was trembling, she was crying, and that was, I believe, the most shocking thing that I ever encountered in my life. Which, to see a woman tell you, I just been abused, and it was so devastating. That's where I broke down. I said, I cannot believe that we are going through this. I cannot believe that our people are going through this. That this is by the cartels, the organized crime, the globalists. They're pushing this place. The NGOs, they're pushing this place to be normalized and for people to migrate. It's sad. It was really sad to see that. The second time that I was impacted, it was in that same day, just moments when the gunfight ended. There was a young lady being carried. Her name is Kianis. Carried from one side of the river to the other side. And as she was carried into the other side of the river, I asked, what is wrong with her? And they said she just got shot. So it was one of the bandits that it was shooting to the center front officials in towards us, the journalists, Ben and I, accidentally, or I don't know if it was on purpose, shot the migrant in her stomach, and she was critically hurt. And to see her on those conditions, basically looking at us and pleading for life, I'm begging for life. It was something that it was extremely difficult for me to to analyze and to take it in. As I was, holding her hand and telling her, you're going to be okay. Just stay with me. And the officials were there, participating, keeping her calm. But it was just shocking for me to see how our people, what they go through, and through the limits and through what expectation they already know that it can happen at one particular point. And, and it happened. And it's sad to see that. It's so devastating to see that. That was second incident that has shocked me the most. And then later on, I began to have contact. She's She's now in a safer place. I cannot say the place for security reasons, but she's happy. She made it out and she's safe. And it was an experience that it will always have a deep connection between us. And ultimately, the last story, it is this. I even have this. This picture on my phone, and it's the screensaver picture. I even have this. If I ever see you again, I will never forget you. Never forget you. You marked my life. This is a story that is the most shocking one. And it's a story about a child that he was 11 or 12 years of age. As you can see, he was really tall, and he's crying right there. He's crying. There's a picture that I have pinned on my stories at Twitter, a pin on my stories on Instagram, on every platform. Why it was so shocking for me? Because that was our third journey. It was the most demanding, physically demanding, journey. The current of the rivers. It was rainy season, so the jungle was really difficult to cross. The rivers were up to here, and some of them were impossible. The current was so strong. So on our way back, we couldn't go a little bit further. We couldn't go up because we could possibly would have died. The center front officials, the Panamanian border officials, which we walk every time, they said it's impossible, Oscar. If we go up and if we try to go up a little bit more to the epicenter, to the center where we were trying to head to, it's going to just be devastating. Possibly we're not going to make it. So we suggested we return back, and we listened. There was around 1,000 migrants that they were heading down, and the Panamanian officials safeguarded them into the right pathways for them to cross. And it was just a horrible nightmare to see how migrants are, going through this current this current, all these the same river, but a strong current. At these particular, times that we were crossing the river, there was this child that basically on one river, he asked me to cross him, and his mom was cut from the feet. She was in a bad shape, and basically the mom asked me if I can carry the child. I cannot do that, I said, but I will help you. And I carried the child from the first river. It was really easy. It was all the way to the chest. I carried him. Just for you to know, I'm carrying a backpack that possibly weighs, because it was raining. We're talking about 25 kilos, possibly 50 pounds of weight. And then, my exhaustion, add, his weight to be carrying him. I carried him to several multiple rivers, and one river, there was a rope, and there's a viral video that I put out on my pages. You can actually see it, which I'm grabbing from one side, from one rope. The river's up to here. I'm jumping so I cannot drown, and his legs are wrapped around my waist, and his hands are right here, and he's waving to his mom as I'm crossing him through one side to the other river. It's just incredible. And then the last river, that was when I think that is the first time that I have broke down so bad. I'm watching how the migrants are people, man, are crossing through this horrible pathway, and I'm just, in my mind, it's a million ideas and a million things that are going through. Why are we doing this? This is completely inhuman. Why these administrations are pushing still migrants to go through this? Why these governments do not fix their country so people will not go through this? Why these dictators? Why these people? Why they're being abused? Why this? Why that? And there's a million thoughts. As I am helping children, I'm helping people. And far away, I saw him again. I saw him again walking, and he was crying, devastated. And I went over there and helped him cross. And when we finished crossing the river, he looked at me, and before we were crossing, we were walking, and he just said, "Can I ask you to be my dad for just today?" And that was really bad for me. I never. That was really bad. That really shook me up. Until this day, I'm never going to. Mm. I'm never going to. I think I will never forget that moment. It says, I cannot believe a child asking you in the middle of the river if you can be his dad for just one day. And I just immediately hugged him and told him that everything was going to be okay. And I told him, there's your mom right there on the other side. Go sit down over there. As he was crying, just nonstop. That really touched me. I went to the other side of the jungle and I just cried like a baby. Uh, just looking at the whole situation, and um, it's not a good place. After that, I did not see him at all. So uh, I have posted many times that if I gotten the opportunity again, it will be all the way around. I will ask him if I can be his dad for just one day. Um, whatever the place that he's at, I always beg to God, and I always pray to God that he's okay. Um, Multiple stories like that that they have really touched our hearts. I'm so glad that these, all of the emotions and all the hard work and the things that we have risked, uh, our lives, uh, Ben and I are being put in a pedestal right now that it's, you know, to be recognized. And I'm so proud of Ben for his courage and his undeniable persistence to do this. You know, it's not easy to cross the Darien. It is not easy at all. But also, as a Latino myself, as a Mexican, I feel really proud to be the first one has crossed it 4 times, uh, and it's just it's just so devastating. And I'm so proud that the Epic Times. It's a great network, big network. We are going to be collaborating more. That is another thing that I feel extremely proud of our work, where we have reached, where we have gone. Not only with our network, Real America's Voice News, that is incredible people, but now with Epic Times, it's just an incredible opportunity. Also, I will put again the clip for people that just want to see again the clip. Go to the Epic Times, uh, website, and you can actually see the 10-minute clip video. That it's basically going to tell you a little bit about the story of what they have documented and what they did in the Darien. So you can go to www.massmigrationfilm.com, Epic Times. They're going to tell you if you want to register with an email. And then after that, you can see the clip video. So again, I will put this minute and 4-second clip video for you guys to just see this teaser. And there's going to be another teaser, which they say that it's going to be a better trailer of the documentary. Let me just put it again, and I will, give my last thoughts.
Unattended luggage.
Behind me is the San Diego border wall, what was once regarded as the best example of secure bordering in the United States. Now, this border wall section, it's now facing the same type of border crisis right here as the rest of the country.
We have open gaps here in San Diego, but they're just coming in.
According to statistics from Customs and Border Protection, around 7.2 million illegal immigrants entered the United States under President Joe Biden alone. What is actually causing this crisis?
There you have it. Thank you so much for this short live feed, 30 minutes. We'll keep it short. In appreciation to Operation Burning Edge, Michael Young, and ultimately Ms. Ann Vandersteel. To the people of Panama, Matthew Tomlin, and also Jairo, which I sent him a huge hug. I hope that I can see you soon, brother. We can go fish diving, as you are the master yourself. You're a shark. And also the Epic Times crew, all the people that I have mentioned, and my brother Ben Berquam, which I always walk the Darian. Without him, I don't walk the Darian. It will be not the same. Arguing with you every day. It is not the same, brother. Thank you for the incredible support. Bless you guys. God bless you. We are in this fight together. As you know, I have always said since I started broadcasting in English 6 years ago, I said unity. It is going to provide us to win. We need to be united more than ever, as we need you. Uh, you need us. We need each other because, in the eyes of God, we were all born exactly the same without the complexity of thinking about color, entity, social class, and countries. We are all the same in the eyes of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless you guys. Stay safe. And like we always say, God's plan, it is our mission. Stay tuned.